Welcome back to all the fellow shop rats here on the MKS channel. It's good for you to be here. Today we're going to talk about dealing with the peer pressure that we all have to deal with when we're involved in this kind of hobby. And for some of us it may be more than we realize, and others are fully aware and don't care. And well, there's just some stuff to talk about because it is Talk About It Tuesday. All right, let's get into it. I'm Mike, and this is My Car Shop.
Working out of a 100-year-old refurbished barn, bringing 35 years of experience to projects considered beyond repair. Vision, creativity, and problem solving are essential tools in this place. Watch as we transform junk into polished metal miracles. This is My Cars Shop.
Anybody that hangs around me for any length of time will hear me make a sarcastic statement, something like, well, I gotta do it because that's what all the cool kids are doing. Now, if you know my stage persona in the band, you know that my stage name is Rebel. So I tend to not follow the rules in any area of life except when it comes to maybe not being thrown in jail and things like that. I tend to march to the beat of my own drum because, well, my own drummer, because I'm in a band and I have a drummer. But I've been thinking a lot about the way things are supposed to be done, the way they say things should be done.
I still don't know who they are.
Versus the way that many people choose to do things. And when you're online, when you're in social media, when you're involved in any kind of discussions in social media, immediately it seems like
Flies to stink.
draws out the legalists who will quickly tell you the right way and the wrong way to do things. Well, you know, I mean, let's face it. We faced that pressure from the time we were kids in school with peer pressure for this and that. And then in the working world, I think we all have, faced that to certain degrees. But let's face it, for most of us, this is just a hobby. Why should we have to put up with that crap? The fact is, we do, but let's talk about some of the ways that we have to deal with it and how we can find our own path to being true to ourselves and, well, quite frankly, true to our own budget. Let me be very clear that I am never, ever standing in judgment or ridiculing somebody whose greatest joy in the hobby is buying parts and bolting things on. I have many friends who have done that, and I have friends that do that, and I think that's great because it's a way that in their life, in their lifestyle, they can enjoy the hobby. I have friends who pay to have things done on their cars, and I think that's great too. I would never discourage you from enjoying the hobby the way that you want to enjoy it. But that's my point here, is finding the way that
You
want to enjoy the hobby, not the way somebody else tells you. Where did we come up with this list of you have to do it this way and you have to do it that way and you have to do it this way? I just did a video, it actually dropped today, about drum brakes. And I remember the big push, kind of in the trends of the hobby was, four-wheel disc brakes, blah, blah, blah. Well, I've never played that game. For one thing, I never saw the point. I'm not building a road rally car. The second thing, when it was money. I have drum brakes. Drum brakes have been around forever. Yeah, I'll convert the fronts to discs because front drum brakes can be a little sketchy sometimes, as we've proven over and over again with scoops. But I have discs for that car, by the way. But point is, you find your own way in that and do what makes sense for you. I know many people who find great discouragement and have actually kind of walked away from being involved in the car hobby because of all the things they were told they had to do and the ways they were told to do it, and it's not in their budget to be able to do it. And that's sad to me because I believe there's room in the hobby for everybody in our various ways of doing things. But some people like to appoint themselves like the police department of automotive restoration and hot rodding. And if you don't do things the way that they think you should, they're going to write you some little tickets and ridicule you and mock you and scoff you. And as I said in the last Talk About It Tuesday,
In the end times, there will always be mockers and scoffers.
if I was going to play police department for the hobby, there would be a couple of rules that I think are vital, and that is safety. And the second thing is safety. Make sure that what you're doing is safe, that the end product is safe. Make sure that the way you're doing it is safe. And then the third rule, because the first two are safety and safety, the third rule is
Have fun.
I remember, it was in the early days of the internet, and I think it might have been on YouTube. Probably not. I think it was in a discussion forum, because I don't think there was any video. But I remember seeing a guy restoring a 50s something, might have been a late 50s, early 60s convertible. And he was doing things that were not the way that even I would prefer to do them. He was using a lot of pop riveted sheet metal, galvanized. He was using a lot of Bondo with window screen to patch things like floorboards and stuff like that. And in all sincerity, I really do think the guy thought that he was doing a good job and doing a service to demonstrating how to restore an old car. And I truly believe that, to the best of his ability, that's what he was doing. Now, would I choose to do my car that way? No, I wouldn't. But I didn't see anything in what he was doing that was unsafe. I did see a lot of things that I thought in 5 or 10 years are going to be a nightmare for the next guy who has to work on this, and all the rust that's going to ensue from the way the guy's doing things. But he was having fun. I didn't see anything in what he was doing that was going to be unsafe. So, and at the bottom of the line, it kind of worked. So, I think we can look at things like that and say, good for him. He's having fun, right? Would I do it that way? No. Did I take anything away from that? I did. I started going down the path of, oh my God, I started reading the comments of people saying things, and I realized, who am I to judge? Believe me, that's not easy for me, because I can see a million things wrong with it and know the bigger picture and so forth. But it really did take me back and say, if I don't want to be judged for the things that I do, then I probably should just shut my mouth and appreciate the fact that he's enjoying what he's doing. As a hobbyist and somebody who has done work professionally, I will say this. It's real easy to fall into cotton that's higher than you can handle. What do I mean by that? I think as we get involved in the hobby and start hearing those who are saying, nay, this is what you got to do. You got to buy this, and you got to buy that, and you got to do this, and you got to do that. We can get ourselves in way over our head in work that we can't handle, as well as a big, huge financial hole that we might not be able to recover from. And if there's two things that I know will kill the joy of the hobby, it's unknowingly giving into that peer pressure legalism and getting way over our heads. And I offer that as a caution. Again, if you're not sure what is safe, get some outside perspective, get some outside help. Ask people. There are plenty of really, really helpful, good car people right around you. I'm sure of it. And they'd be more than willing to come and look over your shoulder and say, this is good, this will work, this is probably a safety issue and you need to address this. Find those people, seek them out. I find that car guys and gals can be some of the most gracious and helpful people when you connect with the right ones. Well, I could go on and on and on and on with this, but I just want to disperse some thoughts for you. The 3 rules are really important. I think those are the only 3 rules any of us should really be living by: is safety, fun, and being very aware of our own limitations, but not getting in over our heads by listening to the hobby police who are writing us tickets for things that they judge we are not doing the right way. All right, that's going to do it for this one. We're over on the Face thing. We're over on Instant Grandma. She really likes us. She'll give us cookies. And we're here on the U thing, / My Car Shop in all 3 of those places. I appreciate y'all, and we'll catch you on the next one.